Today we're going to talk about steps and strategies as you prepare your home to sell that will maximize market value. Stick around and I'll reveal my number one strategy that's proven to sell your home 90% faster with minimal investment. If this is your first time on the Living Local channel, or if you're not currently signed up, click the link below and subscribe to our monthly newsletter, where we'll send you updates on all things happening in the Greenville housing market, as well as current events and activities in the upstate to keep you informed. When I meet with clients who are getting their home ready for market, we go over the specific steps to prepare the home to get ready to list. I often have clients who ask, what can I specifically do to increase the overall home value and minimize my investment? This is not the time to talk about that bathroom or kitchen renovation, but there are smaller investments that you can make that'll maximize the value of the home. Today, we're going to talk about those specific strategies to increase the market value of your property. We're going to talk through the best practices when preparing your home for sale, and then I'll reveal the best investment that you can make to increase the overall value. So what can you do to increase the overall value of your home? The first step is to think like a buyer and like your home is going on a job interview. You're not going to show up for that job interview in leggings with your hair in a ponytail. You're going to take some time, put on a professional outfit, pay attention to all those details, and make sure you're ready to put your best foot forward. You want to do the exact same thing with your home. And it's great to just start from the outside. You know, do the windows need attention? Is there a screen with a tear in it? Does that front door need painted? Does the yard need mowed or weed removal? Now, a buyer isn't necessarily not going to buy your property because of those small details, but that is going to affect the overall perceived value of the home. So our first step was the first impression curb appeal and what a buyer sees walking up to your front door. The next step is going to be open the front door and take that same mindset into your house, right? Look through the eyes of the buyer. So our next step here is going to be walking through every room of your house and decluttering. So declutter, that's a pretty big word and means different things to folks, but really you want to minimize the overall decor and furniture in each room. You want to give the property a nice blank slate that allows the buyer to see their items in there instead of your personal decor decisions. As kind of a blanket general rule, you want to remove about 50% of the furniture in almost every room and about 75% of the other stuff. So that's going to be tabletop decor, knickknacks, all of that you really want to minimize. One good strategy is as you're decluttering to put an image in your head of either that clean, modern, chic, minimalist hotel room, or maybe that unattainable Pinterest photo that you've pinned, right? You really want to think of your space being more of a hotel room than a home that you're living and functioning in. So decluttering is all about giving the buyer kind of this clean template or backdrop for them to imagine themselves and their furniture and their life there, right? And that's harder to do if a property is screaming a little bit too much of someone's personal style, or if they can't see beyond the stuff to see the structure of a room, the bones of a property. So now that we've gone through the house and decluttered, the next thing that we kind of want to zoom our focus in on a little bit more is fixing anything that's broken. And I'm not talking about, you know, a broken window pane or something like that. More of the stuff that you tend to kind of forget about in your day-to-day and you personally can live with, but a buyer is going to notice. So things like a loose door handle or a cabinet handle that fell off and you never used the cabinet, so you just haven't spent the time to replace it. It really does increase your value if you go around throughout your property and think about and go ahead and take care of those things ahead of time. The idea here is that it's the overall perceived value of a property. A buyer might think if they haven't taken care of these kind of small home maintenance things, what about the bigger things? Has the HVAC been serviced? Have they been neglecting any area of the property? So it does affect the overall perceived value of the property. In order to support my clients in preparing their home for sale and to reduce the stress of preparing their homes for sale and maximizing perceived value, I provide walkthrough services for all of my clients as they're getting ready to list their property. We go room to room and talk about decluttering and repairs that are needed in each room and write out that list. So when I leave their property, they've got a checklist of the details of what they need to do to list the property. And if they need vendors or resources, I provide those as well. So our next step in preparing your home for sale to maximize the value is to invest in a deep cleaning. No matter what a great job you do with your week-to-week cleaning in your property, you have to remember that a buyer walking through the door for a home for sale has a high expectation of cleanliness for the property. And nothing is going to turn a buyer off faster or decrease the perceived value than a dirty property. Now, whether you want to hire out for that deep clean or allocate some time and do it yourself, you just want to make sure that you're paying attention to all those small nooks and crannies that get overlooked every week. I provide to all my clients, if they would prefer to hire out, a list of local cleaners who can support a deep clean to get the property ready to list. So let's review. First, we've considered our first impression and curb appeal from a buyer's lens. Then we've decluttered the property room by room. After that, we've taken care of any deferred maintenance and fixed anything that's broken and invested in a deep clean. Our final strategy has been proven to sell homes 90% faster. Buyers have lingered in homes up to 40 minutes longer and has a 7% return on investment. So in order to maximize your value for your home, you definitely want to utilize home staging. If your first thought is home staging is way too expensive, I'm going to provide some resources to make it more economical, and I have a service that I provide to my clients that gives them staging services at a discount. So let's talk through what is home staging, why home stage, and how to execute it. Home staging is the process of rearranging furniture, decor, and accessories in a way that highlights the home's best features. The goal is make the property feel inviting, spacious, and move-in ready for buyers. Home staging has this increased return on investment because you're using furniture and accessory pieces to really highlight the key beneficial features of the property. The goal is to highlight your home's potential, create a space that feels larger and more inviting, and this allows buyers to really visualize themselves there. Staging allows buyers to focus on the positive aspects of your home, like beautiful hardwood floors or unique architectural designs, while it's minimizing some of your home's problem areas, like say a small kitchen or an awkwardly shaped room or alcove. Staging helps answer the question in the buyer's head of, what do I do with this space? Also, with vacant properties, staging can really show the scale of a furniture in a room. A few examples of how I've leveraged staging with my clients' properties would be removing bulky living room furniture and replacing it with 2 more modern side chairs, a rug, and a side table. We've also used artwork to pull the eye in towards specific sight lines. If there are architectural features in a property we want the buyer drawn toward, or if we're wanting to showcase, pull the sight line to the ceiling to make the room feel larger. I've also worked with clients who have flipped properties. We've then used staging to set up what furniture looks like in the space and increase overall showings of the property. Now that we know what home staging is and why it's so important to increase the market value of your property, let's talk specifics of how to get started. So for my clients, I offer a range of home staging options, from just consultation and accessory staging, partial staging, or a full property stage, depending upon what the property needs and my client's budget for the investment. If you're not looking to sell your home in the Greenville market and you're interested in staging, reach out to your real estate agent. They'll be able to provide you with a list of local stagers and their services. At the end of the day, home staging is a small investment that can have a huge payoff. Whether you're selling your starter home or a luxury property, staging helps potential buyers to see themselves there. That emotional connection can be the difference between a quick sale and a home that lingers on the market. Remember that staging is about creating a space that looks like home, and when buyers can envision themselves there, they're more likely to make an offer. If you're thinking about selling your home in the greater Greenville area and you're interested in learning more about home staging, or you'd like a copy of my home sellers checklist to preparing your home for market, send me a message. Thanks again for joining us on Living Local. Keep an eye on our channel for new videos that are great resources for buyers and sellers in the upstate of South Carolina.